this has been kind of an interesting experiment. I started playing Pokemon Go, but unfortunately the last few days I've been kind of stuck at home. I can't really walk very far because my knees are pretty well shot. So I can't go walk around the neighborhood or anything like that. And with the vehicle situation the way it's been lately, I haven't been able to get out and actually explore. So finally today, had a chance. I got the minivan. Got the brakes fixed on the minivan and we're good to go. So I decided I was going to spend some time and go wandering around the neighborhoods and see what I could find. This has been really interesting and kind of cool. First off, if you don't know, I live in the middle of frickin' nowhere. I live in Orwell, Ohio, which is a little tiny podunk town of like 1,000 people for the entire township. And the closest city, and I use the term loosely, is Middlefield, Ohio, which is where I'm at right now. And Middlefield, Ohio is not real big, but it's got a Walmart and a few fast food joints, so at least there's that. So anyway, so this has been kind of cool because I've been just kind of wandering around. I just for the note, since I'm in my vehicle, I am not catching Pokemon while I'm driving. I do have the Pokemon app up. I've got a little on my little dashboard thingy holding my phone. But I'm mostly just using it for the map and to see if I can figure out where the Pokesstops are. And then I pull over and I'll stop and, you know, I'm not trying to do this stuff while I'm driving because it's dangerous, kids. You should not do that while you're driving. But it's been kind of interesting. Orwell itself has a handful of Pokestops and a couple of gyms. I stopped at 2 gyms. One gym was a red gym. I'm Team Blue, Team Mystic. So, you know, props to Blue, I guess. I don't know. I chose Blue because several of my friends had said they were Blue, so I kind of figured I'd team up with them. All right, anyways, so I stopped at a couple gyms. One was a red gym, and it had a combat power 650 freaking Vaporeon guarding it, and the best I've got right now is a 212 Pidgeotto, and I pretty much got myself crushed. I went up against that, threw that at it, and managed to get my Pidgeotto and a couple of other Pokemon knocked out. So I decided, okay, and I hadn't done a ton of damage to it, so I was like, you know what, I'm done. There was another Pokemon gym. It was a blue gym, which is my team, but it didn't have any open slots or anything to put a Pokemon in to defend. Apparently you can train at the gym, and if you train up enough, it levels up the gym and you can put in more Pokemon. But I decided not to mess around with it then because I wasn't entirely sure how it worked, and I didn't really feel like mucking with it. So I've been kind of driving around some more. But it was kind of neat, though, because at the red gym, I don't know if there was somebody else fighting there, but right there at it was in a park, a memorial park, and there's a little memorial plaque there. And sitting right next to the memorial plaque was this couple of teenage kids, girl and a boy. It looked like they maybe were a couple or something. But both of them were sitting on their phones. And so I had to guess that they were probably playing Pokemon, which is kind of cool because as small as my community is, it's kind of neat to know that there are other people doing these same geeky, nerdy activities that I am out here in the middle of nowhere. So I've been driving around, like I said, hitting a few places. And then I just thought it was kind of hilarious because I come down in Middlefield here. I hit the Middlefield Library because it's a Pokestop. Because a lot of the post offices, libraries, and churches tend to be very common Pokestops and or gyms. I thought this one was really cool, though, because the library's closed. There's nobody there. There's no cars in the parking lot or anything. So I pull up, and the parking lot kind of comes down and around. So I pull up, and I pull in, and I get to the right spot, and I decided there was a couple Pokemon that showed up, so I was catching them. And then I hit the Pokestop, and right as I'm hitting the Pokestop, another car pulls up right next to me. And this other dude comes, looks at me, kind of grins, pulls up his phone, messes with his phone for a second, and then pulls out. So obviously he was playing the game too, and he was hitting the Pokestop. And that's really cool, because like I said, again, nerd power unite and all. But B, it really hit me that this is, for a lot of people, this is kind of a shared experience, even if we're not talking to each other, even if we don't know each other, because like I said, I'm out in my car. I'm not wandering around. I'm hearing a lot of really cool stories about people meeting up in parks and stuff like that. Also, hearing a few not so good stories about people taking advantage of this stuff. But so if you're going out and wandering around, be careful. But I just think it's kind of cool that there's all these people that are doing the same activity in the same locations and stuff. You know, like I said, it gives you this shared activity, this shared bit of something, and it's just kind of nice, especially with all the news and all the negativity and all the just terrible things that have been happening in the world lately. That it's kind of really neat that there's something that can kind of bring us all together, even if it's a dorky kids game, So yeah, this has been pretty cool. Plus, I also find it really neat that I can do these little video logs from my car. So yay! So, anyways, yeah, so that's my little video log for Pokemon Go. If you haven't tried it yet, definitely check it out at some point. It's kind of neat. I'm going to go drive around and hit a few more spots. I got to do a little shopping at Walmart, so I'm going to probably go cruise around Walmart and maybe see if I can catch a few Pokemon in there. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Have a good one.
So I'm home now. Today's been interesting. Like I said, I had a lot of fun. It was pretty cool. I spent a couple of hours just kind of driving around. Hit Orwell, drove around, hit Mespo, up around Windsor and Middlefield area. And it was pretty cool. Like I said, a lot of little stops, and I was mostly just hunting for Pokesstops so that I could refill on balls and get some XP and get some potions and eggs and stuff like that taken care of. Unfortunately, the eggs, you put them in an incubator and they hatch as you walk. It's just like in the game, they every step. In this, it actually uses the GPS to measure how far you've gone. Unfortunately, it only counts if you are moving a certain. You have to be moving under a certain speed, and I've read somewhere that it's either 25 miles an hour or 20 miles an hour, and I'm not sure which. So, despite all the driving around I did, you need to go 5 kilometers to hatch an egg. I did 3.2 on one of my eggs, the first egg that I had. So, not terrible, a few days of, I'll take it around and try to leave it open while I do my taxi runs and stuff, and that ought to, knock me out a few, some distance for there as well. Had some issues. There was a couple of times I hit a Pokestop or something like that, and it wouldn't, like I would hit there and I could spin it, but then it would just say try again later, so I'm guessing there was just some connection issues or something along those lines. Had a few times where the GPS stopped just tracking me at all, and I had to actually restart the application. But, growing pains, it's the first couple of days, and the game is, I think, way more popular than the Niantic or whatever the company that did it was expecting. So, been interesting. It was kind of cool though, because I stopped in Mesopotamia, which is this little tiny middle of nowhere town. I mean, basically it's got a decent sized park, and there's this really old general store that sells like penny candy and some weird stuff like that, and there's a little gas station and everything. It's a nice little store, but there's not really anything else there. So I stopped there, and it was just kind of funny because when I pulled up and there's a gazebo in the park, and that's where one of the Pokestops was. So I pulled up to there, and as I'm sitting there, I see 2 kids run over, and they're looking at their phones at the gazebo. And then this other dude comes wandering by my window in my van as I'm pulled up there, and he's heading towards it too. And he looked at me, saw me on my phone, I looked at him, and he's on his phone, and we just sort of laughed. We're like, dude, we're in the middle of nowhere, and there's all these Pokemon trainers running around. This is awesome. We thought it was pretty damn funny. So, yeah, overall, a lot of fun. Like I said, really cool. I wish I could move around a little bit more so that I could actually go hunt specific Pokemon. I know at one point I saw a Bulbasaur. I saw the outline of his Bulbasaur because I haven't caught one yet. I went with a Charmander for my first starter Pokemon. I saw a Bulbasaur, but I don't know where it was. It was 3 steps or whatever those little the distance icons. And I didn't, I have no idea, no way to find out where it was. There was also it's been forever since I played the original Pokemon game, and that's the only one I ever really played was Red. 15, 20 years ago. Uh, the little seahorse. I saw one of those, but it was another one that I couldn't find. And since I was driving, I really couldn't do too much searching, there's only so much you can do on the road, and I wasn't about to sit there and mess with my phone while I was driving, so. Well, no biggie. I'll catch what I can catch when I'm parked or whatever, and we'll see how he goes. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.